Hello my friends, welcome to a video that I've been really excited to create. I even made you guys a presentation about the cycles of expansion, quantum shifting. So if you've been practicing shifting timelines, realities, clearing templates, upgrading your abundance, working into higher octaves of your soul's empowerment, or if you've just been making micro shifts along your journey, wanting to manifest a new job or aligning to your highest vibrational essence, me too. And I really wanted to make this video. A lot of the content that I've been creating lately has been about expanding and holding and it being super light, but I want to talk about the shadow side of doing quantum shifting work, shifting realities, expansion, activating new blueprints in our consciousness, and really validate anyone out there who is feeling tired, feeling dismayed, feeling like you've just gone through a big shift and now all of the old memories, feelings, templates, modes of behavior are rearing their head. You may just be in one phase of the quantum shifting cycle, and I really feel like creating frameworks to be able to understand what part of the cycle you're at is a really empowering tool. Anytime that I've learned something or done this type of work, I find that the more foundation you have and the more theory and understanding of what you're going through or what you're learning creates a framework and a base level for you to have the lived, more spiritual experiences. I owe everything that I can do with channeling music to having studied classical music my whole life. So I will preface by saying this that I've created, this 4-stage cycle, is just of my own awareness. I am not claiming to have studied quantum physics and to be some type of timeline master. I'm very good at channeling music and channeling energy, but this video is also just for me because lately I've been tired and recognizing that you can't just always do expansion work. You can't always be calling on the new frequencies, activating the new frequencies without understanding that there are other cycles and other phases. Integration, stabilization, anchoring, embodying. So this is what we're going to get into today. It's kind of sparked from a channeling I did working with the Lyrans, and that's available. Download. I wanted to share that little snippet of energy activation with you. Go and have fun with that, my friends. Just talking about anchoring, and I feel like working in the higher realms, it's really fascinating that all these different galactic consciousnesses or beings or whoever I channel or talk to, or even just facets of myself, sprinkle little insights and little messages. And when you step back and take the message of expansion, take the message of contraction, take the message to stabilize, take the message to anchor, take the message to integrate, take the message to rest, you can create a larger narrative for yourself. Because I think that, I'm going to speak for me, I can become very hyper fixated and focused on this one thing. I am expanding, I am manifesting. And if you're sitting in a state of really wanting to manifest something, and yes, you do need discipline, and yes, hyperfixation is an amazing tool, but if you're getting dismayed that what you're manifesting isn't coming online fast enough, that you're dipping into lower emotions, that you're recycling old thoughts, don't worry. Take a moment, step outside of yourself, and come now on a journey where we go through the cycles of quantum shifting and expansion. So, stage 1. The expansion, activating the new frequency. This is obviously my favorite part because I'm a little dopamine junkie that's like, how much can we expand? How much light can I hold? I love testing the parameters of expanding my frequency, expanding abundance, expanding my awareness, expanding my gifts, expanding how much energy I can channel. So if you're like me, this is probably the most fun phase where you're like, okay, I've been blown open and I'm ready to consciously activate more for myself. It's like a choice and an empowered felt choice that you make when you go, okay, I am now ready to activate the new frequency. So stage 1 is expansion. When we expand, basically we've been operating in one type of energy field. I've got my thoughts, my beliefs, my template of energy that is informing my physicality and my physical reality is comprised of certain strings of light and dimensional pinpoint, right? You're all of us are living in our own different frequencies, our own different realities, our own different versions of Earth. When you expand, you're actually setting and holographically overlaying or choosing to expand and resonate to a new energetic structure, a new field, a new thought, a new emotion, a new landscape, a new template, a new version of yourself. Hint, that isn't new. You're tuning into something that's already, in some reality, fully formed, fully conscious, fully anchored. But you're not there yet, right? But you have a glimpse and you have a sense of expansion. When you're upgrading your frequency, you are saying to your cells, your body, your field, and I guess the question is, what is your frequency? It's a culmination of your energy field, your physical body, your thoughts, your emotions, your ancestral patterns, your nervous system, the quotient of light, of source light consciousness that your cells can hold, the frequency of your DNA, your blueprint, your patterning, right? So there's a whole lot of moving parts as we are multidimensional and physical beings, light beings and physical beings. There are so many aspects of you that are in flux, that are in vibration, that are in motion all of the time. So when you're having a frequency upgrade, it is essentially just a multidimensional reorganization of your energy system to hold a higher state of consciousness. Higher meaning more relative to the version of yourself you're wanting to be. Probably more joyous, more light-filled, more vital, more confident, more abundant, closer to the original source of your frequency, which is perfectly whole and healed. But we came in to Earth as little humans and had templates of distortion overlaid through our family experiences within our physical reality that mirrored back to us lessons and patterns and beliefs that we absorbed and took on in our sub and unconscious minds about who we are, thus dimming the vibration into lack, into the unconscious, into duality, right? We all kind of know how we got fucked up. So when you're going through a frequency upgrade, energetically, your field is vibrating in a new bandwidth. You're holding a lot more light. The nervous system is adjusting to holding more light in your body, in your being. You are an electromagnetic being. So the electrical current is now upping its voltage. Emotionally, when you're moving through a frequency upgrade, the old density is going to rise to be cleared, and you stay for a moment in an expanded state. When you overlay a new frequency template, it feels expansive. And I'm not sure how you feel and how long you hold it, but depending on where your vibration is now and the frequency jump that you're moving to, say that you're making micro shifts in your frequency and you're like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I hold more joy, blah, 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 blah. Now I hold more creativity. Or if you're making a jump from, I am in one timeline right now and I am making this much money, I have this type of self-esteem, I have this type of boundaries, I have this type of energy level, I have this type of health, and I'm wanting to go up here where I make a lot more money, where things are a lot more easy, where basically what I'm saying, if the jump is a lot larger, you're going to feel much more expanded. And I will say, if you are jumping higher, and going for the very highest, please understand that the next two phases may hit you harder. Moving from the expansion into the next phase might feel like a bit of a jump, a leap, a bit more exhausting. So I will say pick your battle, pick your choice. I like to do things hardcore, and then I always inevitably hold a new frequency and then fall and be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I need a break. What have I done? Right? So just honor who you are. You don't have to change yourself. Just recognize, do I want to make micro shifts in my frequency and sustain the expanded state? Or am I going to go big and also move through the challenges of the next few phases? Right. Everything feels a little bit surreal when you first activate a new template. It's very uplifting and you feel like you've actually just made a huge breakthrough. So about a few weeks ago, I felt like the frequencies and the energies really shifted, and I was like, damn, here we are. And it felt like a very big jump from where I was vibrating. So let me ask you, when was the last time that you felt a big frequency upgrade? And what did it feel like in your mind, in your body, in your frequency to hold that light and sit in that state of awareness and sit in the culmination of that energy? And how long were you holding that frequency before the next phase began? And we'll go into the next phase. But basically, let me just go in. How do we activate a new frequency? So you might be like, Katie, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know how to do this. I want to feel better. I want to feel lighter, but I don't know how, right? So these are some of the ways that I've perceived for myself and working with clients how to activate a new frequency. One, you get sick of the old way of being. You literally come to a point where you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done suffering. I'm done having a hard time. I'm done feeling resentful. I'm done fighting with my family. I'm done not having enough money. I'm done, right? So there's a choice that gets made. We are super powerful creator beings, and if it is your choice to feel finished with something, when you step into your I am presence, you close your eyes, you go inward, and you come to this defiant, valiant space within you that is engaged with your heart, engaged with the force of your soul, engaged with the mechanism and the movement and the chi and the life force energy of the universe, and you say without a shadow of a doubt, I am now ready for more. I no longer accept the past, and I am here proud and powerfully choosing to make a difference, choosing to make a change, choosing to take responsibility, and choosing to activate something more for myself. That is a very, very powerful tool, and you kind of can't trick yourself with that one. Energy doesn't lie. So coming into a choice point, you kind of know when you're done with something. I remember with Vibrosound, my other company, there was a time, and I literally and let me know in the comments if you've ever had this moment where everything just feels so hard and like it's not going to work out, and you feel like you're coming to a crossroads, and it's like, do I keep this job? Do I keep doing this? Do I da-da-da-da? And I remember sitting in the gutter being like, I give up. Like, I can't work like this. And then I remember I think my dad was like, we should shut the company down. And then this feeling came over me, and I was like, absolutely not is that going to happen. And I remember sitting there, and I meditated, and I prayed, and I communicated, and I just sent a signal to the universe, like a solar flare out of my heart. And I said, okay, I'm going to make this work. Send me customers, send me people, send me materials, send me everything I need to make this work. Because I remember my dad was like, we're going to shut it down if we don't make a da-da-da-da-da. I was like, no. And then the next day we got 4 sales out of nowhere, and it kept the company afloat enough to keep it going, right? It was the thing that we needed. And I remember being like, whoa, am I that powerful that I can create a shift like that just by my frequency? And the answer is yes. You can 100% activate your field through this I am power force and working with the force of the universe. So that's one way. 2, doing quantum activations, like when we do the Lightworkers activation courses, when we do the clearing contracts, upgrading soul frequencies. We're doing that session with Courtney on the 11th, quantum energy reset, working consciously in the higher realms with galactic source, angelic frequencies, and learning to interdimensionally travel and being in a energetic container by someone that you trust, or creating that for yourself and learning how to overlay codes through light, sound, energy frequencies will help you to activate and overlay these new energy structures in your field. That's what a multi-dimensional energy session with me is like, or with whoever, right? So one way, if you're ready to activate a new frequency, is to activate and work on shifting your frequency into higher realms and literally having someone work with you to infuse and activate into the cells, into the DNA, kind of like psychic surgery. And you've all watched this channel, so you all kind of know what it feels like to be activated on some level. And then another way we activate a new frequency is that you just sit along for the ride and let the universe do it. We are always having quantum shifts, new energy signals to us, galactic upgrades, cosmic influxes of energy. You might be someone who is a little less defiant and valiant, and you might be like, I'm here for the ride. When it's time to upgrade my system, the natural law of expansion and contraction suggests that energy never rests. Everything is going to shift at some point. And I wish I was one of those people that could just relax into trusting and allowing that when the expansion is time, it will come online, but I'm not, and that's okay. So no matter who you are or what way you want to activate a new frequency, expanding, you can consciously go after it, or you can simply allow the life and the journey of your soul contracts to unfold in perfect timing. Know that there are multiple ways to activate a new frequency. Okay, so once you've activated a new frequency, you're staying in it for a while. Sometimes I can hold it for a few days. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm immediately like drawn in to the next phase. Stage 2 is the stabilization. It is the recalibration from this expanded state that's been holographically overlaid in your frequency and recalibrate through entrainment. This is the new vibrating a lot faster, and this is where you were at vibrating slower. The stronger dominance of this new activation is causing all of the vibratory patterns of your field to come into coherence. But in the passageway of the coherence, think about a note. Say that your new activation is an E. But the frequency you were before is maybe, let's go down a fourth, is a B. So what you have to do is retune yourself. And if you've ever heard two notes played at the same time, dissonance doesn't sound good, but it is being retuned. Dissonance doesn't necessarily feel good, but know that it has to move through these microtonal shifts in frequency to get to this expanded state. Everything else needs to catch up. So if you're feeling shitty, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling like you can't hold your manifestations and you're not seeing anything yet, you might just be in the stabilization, which is learning to hold the new frequency within the density of your physical life. As I said, the old vibrations are being retuned into the new, and this can take time. This is a process that is natural and innate through entrainment. Okay, what it might feel like. You might feel tired, lethargic. You might find that old emotions are coming to the surface where you're like, oh, I thought I moved through this. Old patterns, old debris. Please know that this is just a cleansing, a restructuring of the old, and you don't need to sit in it. You don't need to identify with it too much. Know that these patterns are coming up fully to be released, to be upgraded. And it is an innate process, and it is a natural process, and it might take longer than you want it to. That's just the fact. Because I have been feeling the last few days, week, really not crash hot. And I will say, please always check that your physical body is being tended to, because I went and got a blood test and I'm super anemic and low, and I'm getting an iron infusion in a few days just to help my physical body feel better. Being 7.5 months pregnant, it makes sense that the body needs time to integrate the new light codes, grow a human baby. Your body is also very, very important in the quantum shifting. So please understand that you might feel frustrated in this time, but are you caring for your physicality? Are you caring for your emotions? Are you caring for yourself in all the ways that you need to, and not dipping into feeling frustrated, being like, why aren't I in the new frequency, right? It takes time. So what's happening energetically is your nervous system needs to adapt to hold more light. And guess what? If you've had a dysregulated nervous system, it may already be depleted. It may already need a little more juice, need a little more love, need a little more patience and care. Your subconscious is reprogramming. So your old thoughts and narratives are being shown to you maybe even more dramatically and drastically, because the disparity between the jump, the new, and where you've been is so loud now. Get your pen and your paper and journal everything out. Get it all out. Accept it, allow it, don't attach to it, but recognize, hey, this is where I've come from, and it doesn't suit me anymore, but I acknowledge that at one point it probably had a very safe and protective mechanism for me. Thank it. Thank you, old thoughts, for showing me how I don't want to live anymore. And when I read people's quantum energy fields and I look at the density of the ancestral line, look at the chakra templates of trauma or distortion from childhood, look at the negative beliefs about self, look at the layers of disconnection from your higher self and your source consciousness, it's like a bag of they're showing me rotten apples, right? It's heavy, it's old, and you know what? It takes time to move each one out. You can't fake shadow work. You can't bypass doing some of the work. Yes, you can do it at a faster rate, but please understand, when you do it and actually do it and release it and dissolve it and upgrade it, you don't have to do that again. You don't have to go in and do that again. So it's like cleaning out your house. Clean it really well and give it the time and space it needs now, and it will all be worth it, because you won't be repeating that again. Okay, tips to moving through the stabilization phase. Do not give up. Step 1. Do not give up. If you're feeling weird and lacking and odd, just be like, okay, I'm stabilizing. I'm in the stabilization phase. Give yourself a break. I would recommend, don't do the activation work. Don't keep repeating the activation and saying, I'm going to activate, I want to activate. Take a break from spiritual content and activation work and give your body the time it needs to digest. The hologram has already been overlaid. So trust that what you've inserted through the activation phase in your field is still there. So once you've moved out of this, and you'll kind of know when you're coming out of it, because you'll feel a little bit better, you'll feel a little bit more shifted. You might wake up one day and be like, oh, okay, the heaviness is gone. You're now into stage 3 of integration. This is the period where we're now anchoring. You've blown out, you've expanded, you've stabilized, you've cleared out the old. Now you're going to be consciously anchoring these frequencies into your personality, into your body, into your thoughts, into the program of who you are as a being, as a human on earth. It's the merging of the energetic structures and the embodiment into physical form. So when you're integrating, your system is slowly finding its rhythm. Your nervous system is now able to relax a little more because it's entrained to the new upgrade a little more. Your field begins to harmonize more naturally, and you begin to kind of ease into the feeling that you can trust that it's already done. Signs that you are integrating, you might feel calm and relaxed. You might not necessarily see everything, but you might have little visions or deja vu or tuning into these realities that you're creating, right? Having little 5-minute breaks in the day where you go, okay, I'm going to come into my here and now vibration. I'm going to come into my body and I am anchoring this. You might like to do some tapping. I am now the embodiment and anchoring of this new frequency. I am here. I am living it. I am now. And I would say, like, check out the Cosmic Library. There are so many activations there that can help you anchor and stabilize it, not just in your mind, but deep in your subconscious, deep in the layering and patterning of your energy field. When you're anchoring, you're reaffirming, reapplying, and strengthening these vibratory patterns in the mind, in the energy, in the chakra templates. So the more you can do it, it's like painting layers of and coats of paint on. It's going to be stronger and brighter, right? So the anchoring phase is like quite a fun phase because you're putting the coins in the bank and letting them sit until it's cash out time, until it's full manifestation time, right? Don't give up in the anchoring phase. Don't put a time limit and be like, I've done my 5-minute manifestations. Where are things? Don't be bratty. I'm super bratty. I'm like, where is it? Let things take time because you're co-creating with others. You're co-creating with that boss who wants to give you that raise. You're co-creating with timelines that are shifting. You're co-creating with the universe. There are sometimes poignant, predetermined frequency shift points that are perfectly aligned to be on, like, the 12th of December at 11 a.m. is when the shift happens because the domino effect. There are so many other things that are needing to be recalibrated simultaneously as well. And then you get to enter the phase of grounding. This is now where you're kind of just living as the embodiment. You kind of wake up or you slowly integrate and you start to see the synchronicities. You start to receive the rewards. You start to have physical experiences with other people. Like the other night we went out for dinner. This is such a small thing, but we went out for dinner and I ordered something delicious, but it came with a hair on it. Okay, wait. We went out for dinner, and typically I feel like really sad sometimes when waiters or people are like, what do you want? And I'm like, hey, how are you? Because the work I do is so connective, right? So when I speak to people that are so disconnected, I always feel a bit sad because I'm like, oh, and that's okay. But I went up and the waiter was like so lovely and so engaging. And then they brought out the food and there was a hair on it. And the guy was so sorry that he made me new food. And then he comped our whole meal and gave us a voucher for like $100 to go and eat there again. And I was like, damn, not only did I just receive a free meal, I also got given back something that is so lovely. And I felt in the vibration of community and collaboration. And it's such a small thing, but these types of reality shifts where you see a palpable difference for the way that you're being treated or experienced or interacting with your external world is the sign that you're shifting and you have shifted into something. You become the living expression of the higher timeline. And it's really rewarding. Signs that you are grounded and embodied, I think we kind of all know, right? You feel more alive. You feel that first sensation of when you first expanded, but you can hold it all the time. It doesn't feel like a stretch to hold it. It feels like your new normal. You wake up and you feel gratitude. You feel more connected. You feel stronger in your body and you feel more real. That first stabilization phase where everything was taken out, you can feel really disorientated and it's like all the puzzle pieces are coming back in and you're like, let's go, I am alive. And you have this deep sense of knowingness that you have shifted and you are here and now in the new. And this might be when your creative downloads pop in or when the tasks or the things you've been creating now get the green light to go ahead or the resources come through. It's like everything that's been held in the outside perimeter now the parameters come down and things start flowing in, things start moving, time speeds up, you're having more enjoyment, you have more energy for the things that you love, and you kind of feel a sense of relief of like, oh, okay, this is how it's meant to be, this flow is how it's meant to be. And maybe you want to feel gratitude for it because it's been a process to get here. And from the first expansion to the integration embodiment, it could be 1 month, it could be 3 days, it could be 6 months, right? As I said, depending on the quantum jump that you're making, please know that these things do take time, and you might want to practice having micro shifts so you feel very confident in trusting and allowing and understanding the cycles. Okay, key points. It takes time, it takes energy, don't freak out, stay in the flow, take a break, don't be like quantum shifting all the time. Don't quantum shift until you're just like so disorientated that you don't even know who you are, right? Be appreciative for where you are and know that you're doing this not just for you. You're doing these quantum shifts not just to get more abundance or to get something. You are quite literally rewriting the fabric and the template of humanity. You are upgrading the DNA of humanity. You are anchoring new light codes so other beings can also touch and assimilate and entrain to what you are anchoring here on earth as an opportunity for them if they choose. You're doing so much more in the field than you could ever recognize. And the more you can understand that expansion and contraction is just the literal flow of life and you're just in one phase of it, helps you recognize you're in the flow and you're being supported and everything is all good. So download a free little energy anchoring activation below, and I'm actually I'm really excited, a quantum shifting reality series. So I keep going online to do like a visualization, manifestation, meditation, or timeline jumping. And I'm always so specific about like the music or people's voices. So I'm just going to make it for myself. I think it'll be like 10 different, I've kind of made the outline of like visualizing your dream life, 5-minute anchoring, upgrading a quantum template, how to restructure your beliefs, how to powerfully, energetically wipe things out. I'm excited just for me, but if anyone else wants to do that, that will be ready soon and I'll let you know. But please let me know in the comments, where are you in your quantum shifting cycle? What did you take away? Are you like, oh, I should give myself a break? Or are you excited to activate something more? And what are you trying to activate? What are you upgrading? What do you want? Okay, my friends, thanks for tuning in and listening. I hope you took something away from this. It's always so much fun to create, and I'll see you in the next video.